Well, welcome back to SFC Live here at the Stadium of Light, where it's finished. Sunderland 1, Oxford United 1. And we were just discussing off mic, Danny. That's probably Sunderland's best performance of recent weeks, wasn't it?
I'd say so, yeah, definitely. I think, people might look at scorelines more so than performance. And I think today, for me, over the course of the 90 minutes, it was a much better performance than even the Ipswich game.
Yep.
We won 2-0 last week at Cambridge. So, yes, you can look at, we picked up 3 points in those games, but the performance was better today. I think energy we had second half, pressing, picking up second balls, all those things, doing the dirty work, like Carl Winchester in the middle of the park.
Pritchard was having another good game.
Pritchard, yeah, we come that close. Gooch has the effort. We've hit the woodwork. We'll obviously go through it in a minute, but the only thing that was missing is we haven't got that goal. And as I just said there on comms, that we're more disappointed going away with the point than what Oxford are. Cambridge last week.
Yeah, was it? Two of the university. Yeah. All right, then let's have a look at the action then, as we can look through and dissect the game then.
Yeah, no, we said it, didn't we? First 10 minutes, I thought we were good. We got out the blocks. We started well. Balls coming in from both sides. And I think, just look at the goal now, it sums it up there. That's what I'm on about, that energy in the middle of the park there. Pritchard, who I thought was excellent today, just plays it behind Diaku slightly, but he adjusts well. He takes the ball, just skips a yard of pace onto his attack, and then slots it lovely past the goalkeeper. And as we said there, I do think he's had a difficult week in midweek. I didn't think he was at it, or even last Saturday, even though we won. But today that'll do his confidence a world of good. It's a good touch from him, and it's a lovely finish. And we've seen it from him. I mentioned there against Crewe, against Cheltenham, he's got it in his locker. It's just his general play, what he needs to develop and learn on. And this one again here, Lyndon Gooch just has a little bit of time. Maybe, can he take a touch? But I can see what he's looking for. Put the ball in early while they're retreating back towards their own goal.
They didn't really make Hoffman make a save, did they?
No, and that's the frustrating thing with it. We're looking for clean sheets. We need more clean sheets. I think we've had 4, maybe 5 this season. And they're coming away from it. They've had very little. They've had that one opportunity second half again, what we'll have a look at. But
at this period of time, they were having quite a lot of
possession. They were having a lot of ball, and their two wingers were coming into it. Holland and White were their two best players when they got the ball to him. And then second half, they didn't have any ball at all really to get it out to them. But towards the end of the first half, we came back as well. I think we were, towards the end of that first half, we were having a good spell, and half time came at the wrong time for us, I think. But here's the goal now. See, little give and go from Holland there, driving at Bailey Wright, who does well because he's on a yellow card already, Bailey, so he's got to time it, and he does. And then just as he plays it to Lyndon, Lyndon lets it run across. He's looking for the free kick because he knows he's in a difficult spot there. Yeah. And then after there, we've got 4 or 5 bodies. Can we react?
Are you saying you can't just blame Lyndon Gooch for that because the bodies in the box should have reacted?
Well, it starts as it goes back to Lyndon. What can Lyndon do? Just put it out for the throw. We've seen their centre half, second half, put it out a couple of times. It doesn't look great, but you've got to do it sometimes because you can see what can happen. He doesn't. He tries to buy a free kick from the referee, doesn't give it. And then it's that reaction there. That's what we've got to react. Where's the main danger in the box? It's Taylor. Their marksman. He's there and he's free 6 yards out and he slots it. And that's obviously what's cost us the 2 points today. But we'll get onto the second half in a minute, where we'll see we had a lot of good play, didn't we?
And Lyndon Gooch was involved in a lot of positive stuff this afternoon, wasn't he?
I thought he had a good game, Lyndon. The 2 incidents where obviously he's involved in the goal against, and then the one at the start of the second half, what we'll see, where he tries to play it back and they almost get a winner from it.
Well, that's what we said in comms. It was an afternoon of almost moments.
Almost. It's one of those frustration and almost, wasn't it? And here we go. Second half here now. You see we're getting into the box. Broadhead. He was busy. He got moved out with the change in formation. Then we went to a 4-2-3-1 with him coming out to this left, but he was seeing a lot of the ball on this left-hand side. Let's have a look at it now, and the defender just lets it run, thinks it's going through to his keeper. Diaku's onto it. Ross Stewart against the crossbar.
Has he gone for the right shot there, Ross Stewart?
It is difficult for him, to be honest. He's got to hit it early because the chance has come to him now, but they're getting bodies back onto the line. So he's tried to lift it and trying to beat the keeper. Unfortunately, he comes back off the crossbar. This one here, Lyndon Gooch does well, just bends a nice ball in there. Ross Stewart.
But that's what we haven't seen in recent weeks, have we? We haven't seen anyone cutting in and putting a good ball into
Ross Stewart's head. The box for Ross, getting there. But he gets there, and unfortunately, it's just straight at the goalkeeper, isn't it? That one there, he's unlucky. I think Broadhead does well, just sets it back. But Ross is running onto it, and it's just fractionally behind him, and he can't shift his feet to adjust. And this is the one now, isn't it? Say Lyndon does well there. But again, look in front of him, he's got a lot of bodies. There's not a lot of goal for him to aim at, to be fair to him. And his reaction, he thinks the goalkeeper's tipped it over. And here's the one where Lyndon trying to play it back to Callum Doyle. And he plays it to Adji, who's just come on. That was his first touch. Unfortunately, from our point of view, it's straight down Hoffman's throat. But look at us in the middle of the park. That's what I liked about us today, where we were ratting about in there, doing that ugly side, picking up loose ball. This one comes out to Pritchard now, driving at their back line. And as it comes to, is it Broadhead it comes back to? Yeah, just takes a touch and on his left foot. Strikes it quite well, but he just pulls it past that far post. So time and time again, we were getting around the 18-yard box.
Embleton did well when he came on, didn't
he? He was bright, yeah, he was when he came on. He's seen a lot of the ball, didn't he? Over on that far side on his left foot. You know, ball's coming into the box. See him again here now. Is it Embleton? Just sets it back to Pritchard, just scoops it. But yeah, this was the one we thought is the offside, because everything seems to stop for a minute. But
he's hit the angle on a couple of occasions this season, hasn't he?
Outside of that post. But it was time and time again we were getting into these areas. See there, Embleton maybe just slightly overruns it there, Elliott.
But we kept almost moments.
Was, and as it was coming out, I said they looked leggy. It was like wave after wave, really, where we were getting into these areas, weren't we? But we just couldn't really get that one golden opportunity. Yeah, we've hit the woodwork on a couple of occasions there. Lyndon Gooch fires over, but frustration. We haven't come away with 3 points for me today.
Yep. Okay, then let's have a look at the table as it stands then. Of course, Sunderland are only one of a couple of fixtures in EFL League One. Now we're on 5th on 36 points. It's so tight in there, isn't it? Look at that. I mean, this was the game in hand, but, you know, it's a point from the game in hand. Let's look for the positives, and it's 36 points from 19, and Rotherham sitting on 38 points from 19.
Well, yeah, it's a positive. You know, unbeaten run, we're into 4 now, won't we? You know, take the Papa Johns aside. League form, we're on about now 2 wins, 2 draws in the last 4 games. We've said it before, we picked up 7 points out of a possible 9. And now coming into these 3 home games, I would probably say I'd take 7 out of 9. So we've had the draw today. Now we've got Morecambe coming here. You've got to fancy us on paper. You've got to fancy us, them coming up here on a Tuesday night. We've got to be at it like we were today, and I'm sure we'll have more than enough for Morecambe. And then you've got Plymouth coming here after that next Saturday, who are in a little bit of a dip yet. You know, look at the table, they're still right amongst it, and credit to them. You know, they've been going great guns all season, but they've lost their last 3. So we've got to take care of them, especially at your home games. You know, we've got the best home form in the league. I think us and Oxford actually are top of the top 2 for home games. So now we've got to build on today, build on that performance, and I'm sure the lads will, you know, a world of confidence there inside them after what they've produced today, although it's only a point.
Okay then, let's see if we've got any hashtag Ask Danny's. Do we have any? Here we go. Adam says, just letting you class commentary from, I think he's trying to say,
nope.
Just letting you know, the class commentary from you both, Danny Collins, watching here in America. Quick question, did Danny play against the Portland Timbers when SAFC came here in 2005?
I remember it, yeah. And
come on.
No, I don't think I played in that one. We had like 3 games in a short space of time, but I remember
who you played against?
Seattle. I think we played Seattle Sounders as well, and who else did we play over there? We played 3 games. I know it's going way back, isn't it? 16 years or so. But no, what I remember about the game, it was the surface. It was like the low quality AstroTurf. So the lads had to go to the shop, and we all had to get the pimple trainers. You couldn't even play in moulded studs over there because of the surface. Yeah, no, goals is class compared to what that was. And I remember at the side of the pitch, I think they have the big tree, don't they? And they cut it when there's a goal scored or something like that. Yeah, but I do remember I was watching that one up in the stand. And obviously, over in America, the beers are whizzing past and the hot dogs and everything. So,
did you help yourself?
No, it was pre-season. We weren't allowed any of that sort of stuff, were we? So, but no, that's what I remember from that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else did we play now? Vancouver Whitecaps. That's the other one, yeah. Vancouver Whitecaps, yeah.
There we go. So. Thanks for your hashtag Ask Danny. Let's move on to the next one. This one's from Tom, who says, I know Lee Johnson got a lot of stick a few weeks back for saying Ross Stewart needed to do more, but is he right? Watching from Dallas, Texas. All the Americans are watching.
I think looking at that from how I read into it is he's just trying to G the lads up. Just a little dig in here now and then. There's nothing wrong with that as a player. You've got to take it on the chin, and I can see where he's coming from. He wouldn't have been just directing that at Ross. He's everyone else, but he goes for Ross because I think he's trying to flip it as in, you know, Ross works his shift every week, and then the lads, bloody hell, the gaffer's getting after Ross here. You know? Yeah. So I think that's what that was. But no, I don't think you can fault Ross Stewart's work rate. I think. Yeah, the goals have dried up recently, but that's probably from chances being created for him. You know, balls coming into the box. You just mentioned it there, Frankie, that the one that Lyndon Gooch puts in, we haven't perhaps seen enough of those type of deliveries for Ross to feed off. You know, he's a 6'4", 6'5" striker on the move. If you're getting 5 to 10 crosses coming into the box, you'd expect him to get on the end of 1 or 2, as he did today. Unfortunately, he gets contact on it, but it's straight down the keeper's throat, a yard or two either side, and he's putting us 2-1 in front. But no, in terms of Ross, it's his first full season at this level for us, coming down from Scotland. Yes, he was bit part last season behind Charlie Wyke, but now he's the main man up there, and I think it's helping him with Broadhead up there. I like Broadhead a lot from what I've seen of him. You see him today, even when he gets moved out onto the left.
On his toes quite a lot,
he just gets on with it. He's busy, he's bright, like Pritchard was as well. Always busy and bright, looking to get on the front foot, looking to drive at defenders, and having these type of players in and around Ross takes the workload off him as well.
Yeah.
And then he's got a little bit more energy in the tank for when those balls are coming in, for when he's driving into the box himself. He had one, didn't he, second half, where he played a little give and go with Pritchard, but it just got away from him, and the defender come across and got the tackle in. But that's where you want to see Ross driving into the box as well.
Yep, absolutely. Have we got any more? Let's have a look. This one is from Seth, who says, disappointing to see all those chances missed. It does feel like we left two more points on the pitch, although there were a lot of positives to carry forward. Watching from Detroit, Michigan. Look at that. We're doing the two of the states
around
here.
The states today, aren't we? No, he's exactly right there. It does feel like 2 points lost, if we're honest. I think you maybe looking at the Burton game as well, where that was 3 points lost that night, wasn't it? Because first half we should have been out of sight. We didn't take our chances, and they came back and nicked it second half. But looking at today, I think first half I thought it was fair going in at the draw. We started well and we finished the half well, but in that middle 25 minutes or so, I think Oxford controlled the game better. We couldn't really string any passes together, so I thought fair enough going in at half time. And we said, how do we react coming out second half? Because we're slow, aren't we, starting the half? You're almost trying to feel your way in after you've had your cup of tea or your juice at half time. You can't do it sometimes, and I think that's what's happened with Oxford today. On the flip side, they've came out, they didn't really get going. They've had 2 free kicks and nearly scored off the one where Linda Gooch played it back to the lad who came on. But other than that, we've controlled that 45 minutes of that second half, really. Disappointing, as he said there, that we haven't taken one of those opportunities. We've hit the Broadhead's tight angle, maybe. Can he go across the keeper, find the far corner? He's more than capable. Lyndon Gooch is not a lot of goal for him to aim at, if we're honest. And then Ross Stewart's pretty similar, where he's hit the crossbar. So he's right. It does feel like, coming up against the team who you expect to be up there at the end of the season. But we've bossed them for a good 45 minutes of that second half. So a lot of positives for me to take from that going into a big fixture on Tuesday night now.
Okay, thanks, Danny. As my notes try and blow away off the table here. Let's have a look at this one from Chris, who says, what kind of character do we need for youth team coach from Arkansas, USA? Fantastic support in the USA this afternoon. Fantastic to see. But he's asking, do we need a coach for the youth team, I think? What kind of character?
I'm not sure in terms of what he's referring to there as much, but I think in terms of the philosophy going down the age groups and how they want to work to it. And I think if you look at Tuesday night, Wednesday night, I keep saying Wednesday when we played against Oldham, lost me that. Oldham, wasn't it, in the Papa John's on Tuesday night?
It was a very long evening.
It was a long evening. It was a cold evening as well, wasn't it? But no, I think the young lads coming in, and some of these boys at this moment in time are going to get the opportunity to train with the first team regularly as well. So they'll see the patterns of play, the formations, what Lee Johnson and the first team coaching staff are looking for. And with Christian Speakman and the other guys around the academy, when we spoke to Christian, he says they're trying to filter that down through the age groups.
That's right, yeah.
And their philosophy and what they're expecting from these boys if they are to step up and to come into the first team. Now, whether that goes down as far as your 16s, your 14s, etc., I'm not sure. But when you're at the 18s, 23s levels and you're coming up and you're on the fringes of the first team, the likes of Dice, Ollie Younger, we've seen Willis last week. These boys weren't all around it. They've got to be ready and know the roles and know the systems, what's expected of them if they do get their chance in the first team. But in terms of a coach, I'm not sure what he's meaning by that as such.
I think it means because
to suit the style of play, maybe.
Because Elliot Dickman left it.
Yeah, Elliot's gone.
He's been replaced officially. I think Michael Proctor might be doing it for now. I'm not too sure on the confirmation of that, but I think it's what he was referring to on that particular
and I think whoever they do appoint in replacing Dickman, then I think it's to suit the style of play maybe. But they come in, they'll have their own thoughts and theories on how they want us to play.
But they'll all be working under Christian, won't they?
It's communication. We've seen it when we were down at the academy as well. Christian was telling us one thing, that the officers have all changed. They want it to mingle and get round with each other and get their ideas it was too spread out before, he said, wasn't it? Different buildings and everything was going on. Now they're all down at the academy. one sort of big office really in a way, isn't it? The different age group coaches are down there, so they've got good communication. And then once they, as we say, once they do get involved with the first team, that they're ready.
Okay, then let's have a look at the final one then here on hashtag Ask Danny from Neil. Was it a lack of quality or just bad luck that we couldn't make the most of lots of possession in the second half? And we've touched upon this a little bit, Danny, but you can't help but coming away from the game as a fan a little bit frustrated that we didn't make it the most of it.
No, frustration's the word for me today. I think looking at it, I think we were the better team for the majority of that game, 60 minutes or so. I'd say we were the better team, but it all comes down to putting the ball in the back of the net, and unfortunately we were time and time again got into those good areas. When he's asking for, was it bad luck? You can argue hitting the woodwork, is it bad luck or is it poor finishing?
Yeah.
It's one of those, isn't it? But I think could have worked the goalkeeper a little bit more for the amount of possession we had in their final third. Haven't worked the goalie enough really. It maybe tipped that one over from Lyndon Gooch, but apart from that, he hasn't had too many saves to pull off, has he? For the areas we got into. But I look at it as a positive today. I think definitely performance-wise for me, that was a big positive. It's hard to say who had a bad game. Sometimes you're thinking man of the match. There's 5 or 6 you could pick out today as well. So that's the positive way to look at it. And quick turnaround again. Lads have got a couple of days to recover. The pitch is getting heavy now. We've got 3 games on it.
I think we saw this afternoon a couple of examples where the pitch had a negative effect.
Yeah, it did. Lads losing their footing here and there. But, the ground staff will get to work on it. Ready to go again Tuesday. But we've got to follow this performance up with a positive performance and a result again on Tuesday night now. And
that's exactly when we'll see you next here on SAFC Live. Sunderland in action, 7:45 against Morecambe at home here. The second of 3 games here in a row at the Stadium of Light. 7:45 kickoff, which means we'll be on air from 7:15 here on SAFC Live. And because it is not a Saturday at 3 o'clock, it means you can officially, legally buy this game in the UK. So go to safc.com right now and get your match day streaming passes. We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good weekend.